Hi everyone, this is Ilanjana ma'am, and I welcome you all to my second unit of the prose piece Our Runaway Kite, written by Lucy Maud Montgomery, the Canadian writer. So if you remember, this story is based upon the value of relationships in our lives, and it tells us how a single piece of kite is able to reunite, is able to reconcile two separated families, a brother and a sister, when both their families come together after a long, long time. So let's get started. It is always lovely on the big half moon in summer. The second unit begins with a lovely description of summer on the island. And so Philippa Litty, the narrator, who is just a girl of 11 years of age, and she is telling us this whole story. So the first paragraph is based on the description of the island in summer. When it is fine, the harbor is blue and calm, with little wind and ripples. Every summer we had some hobby. So what does the word ripples mean? Ripples are actually, actually the small waves that are created in in the body of water, for example, in a pond or a lake due to the air or breeze or wind. So when there was little breeze, the sea looked absolutely blue and calm, and it was really wonderful. And every summer, these two children, they had some hobby. They pursued some interest or some hobby, some pastime they had. So last summer, the summer in the previous year, before Dick and Mimi came and they all got united. So before that happened, they were crazy about flying kites in the sky. So how did they learn this craft? Well, she tells us that a boy on the mainland had showed Claude how to make kites. And back on the island, we made plenty of kites. Claude would go around to the other side of the island and we would play shipwrecked mariners, signaling to each other with kites. So here only, here she gives us a hint how kites were used in the past as ways of communication or a medium of signaling to each other. So when there is no other way, you can use kites as a signal. So in previous years, when kings ruled on this earth, well, yes, they definitely used birds and all. We have heard of them using birds like pigeons or doves and all as a signal to the other side or to the other army or to the other party or to the other kingdom. So here, and we also have the tradition of flying kites as a signal of a communication. So here she tells us that they would play a game called Shipwrecked Mariners, and like we all know what happens when a ship gets wrecked. So when a ship gets wrecked, the mariners or the sailors, they often get drowned in the sea, or they have to jump down into the water, or they have to rescue themselves by using boats and dinghies and all. So here they were playing like they are those sailors whose ship got wrecked in the sea, and then and they were signaling to each other using kites. And then finally Claude the mariner and Philippa the other mariner, uh, finally they get reunited, or they get reconnected by these kites. Then in the second para we have about the kite, how what it did to repair a particular kite. We had a kite that was big and covered with lovely red paper. We pasted gold tinsel stars all over it and had written our names upon it. So it shows how they were making a particular red colored, bright red colored kite for themselves, and then they pasted gold shiny stars, meaning stars made of some kind of a shiny material, and then they wrote their names upon that kite. They wrote Philippa Litty and Claude Litty, and they also wrote their address. So we all know that they lived on the island, so their address was the Big Half Moon Lighthouse. But what happened to this kite one fine day? So one day there was a grand wind. There was a strong wind blowing for kite flying. So I'm not sure how it happened. But as I was bringing the kite from the house, I tripped and fell over the rocks. My elbow went straight through the kite, making a big hole. So that's how the kite got torn, or that's how the kite got broken somewhere. Making a big hole in the center. So Philippa Litty fell over the rocks, and her elbow went straight into the kite, and that's how a hole was created. So obviously they were in a very a good hurry to fix up the kite because the wind was fine and they had to blow the kite. So they rushed into the lighthouse and they went upstairs and they tried to get some paper or something, but there was no enough light and all. In that building. So they took whatever they got handy, whatever they got right in front of them, and what they found was an old letter lying on the bookcase somewhere in the sitting room of that lighthouse. And we patched the kite up, and they just glued the that paper to that kite, and they tried to repair the torn part, and a sheet on each side, and dried it by the fire. So they did it very fast. They lit up a fire, and they glued paper to both old letter paper to both sides of that kite, and that is how they tried to repair it or mend it. And finally we started out, and up went our kite, and the kite flew just like a bird. So you have see here, you have a figure of speech, you have the simile, which is a comparison over here, and it says, and went up, and up went the kite like a bird. The wind was glorious and it soared. So as it was a glorious, powerful wind, the kite soared high, the kite rose high and high in the wind and in the air, but all at once, snap. So here you have SNAP, snap. You have a sound word, or you have an onomatopoeic word, which is also a figure of speech. Well, sound words like slam, like crash, or snore, or thud. Something will fall down with a thud. So you have several sound words in English language. This is one. Snap. Snap is used for like cut. Something got cut. So what got cut? Definitely the thread. The thread of the kite got cut due to some reason, and there was Claude standing with a bit of cord in his hand. So that cord, the thread remained, and high up there the cord got cut. So Claude was looking very helpless and foolish, standing with the remaining part of the cord or thread, and our kite had sailed away over to the mainland. So the kite had flown away somewhere towards the mainland. So no one knows where the kite is going to go and land. So let's find out in the next class.